What if the biggest financial decision of a professional tennis player didn't happen on the court, but off it? No Grand Slam bonus. No massive sponsorship deal. No seven-figure prize check. Instead, it was a personal decision, one that sparked controversy, criticism, and conversation across the tennis world. Today, a former top 100 WTA player is openly explaining why she made the choice, how it transformed her income, and what it reveals about the hidden financial reality of professional tennis. This is not clickbait. This is not scandal. This is the side of tennis most fans never see. Welcome back to TennisIQ, where tennis stories go deeper than rankings and results. Who is Sachia Vickery? Before the headlines, before the debates, and before the quotes went viral, Sachia Vickery was simply a rising American tennis talent trying to survive one of the most unforgiving professional sports in the world. Born in Florida, Vickery turned professional with the same dream every junior player has: break into the top 100, play Grand Slams regularly, build a sustainable career. And for a moment, she did exactly that. In 2018, Vickery announced herself on the main tour, semi-final run at the Monterey Open, semi-final appearance at the ASB Classic, finished the year just outside the top 100. Her career high ranking? World number 78. For many players, that's the beginning of something big. For others, it's the start of a much harder reality. The brutal economics of pro tennis from the outside. Professional tennis looks glamorous. Private jets, luxury hotels, global travel, big stadiums. But the truth? For players outside the elite tier, tennis is one of the most expensive careers in sports. Sachia Vickery explained this reality bluntly during an interview with CNN. Her words: "I can tell you, $2 million is absolutely nothing when it comes to tennis." That statement alone shocked many fans. But when you break down the costs, it starts to make sense. Where the money really goes, according to Vickery, her annual expenses included coaching, fitness training, physiotherapy, recovery specialists, medical imaging like MRIs, travel, accommodation, nutrition. She estimated spending over $100,000 per year just to maintain a professional level setup. And that's without guarantees of prize money. Lose early? Miss a main draw? Fail in qualifying? You still pay the bills. Life outside the top 100. The top 100 in tennis live in a different world. Guaranteed Grand Slam entry. Better appearance fees. More sponsor visibility. Outside the top 100? You're fighting every week. Vickery spent recent seasons primarily on the ITF circuit, grinding through qualifiers in Melbourne and New York without making main draws. Despite strong performances in 2024, including round of 16 at Stuttgart, round of 16 at the ATX Open, the financial pressure never disappeared. And that's where her story takes a turn most athletes are afraid to talk about. A personal decision, not a career move. In a candid statement, Sachia Vickery revealed that a personal cosmetic decision she made years earlier unexpectedly became a turning point financially. Her words went viral. "I guess it made me a lot of money on OnlyFans, that's for sure. So it was worth the investment." What's important here is context. She emphasized that the decision was made years earlier, done for herself, not originally tied to income or publicity. But later, it became part of a broader strategy to gain financial stability. OnlyFans and athletes. A growing conversation. Sachia Vickery is not the only athlete to explore alternative income streams. But she is one of the few active professional tennis players to openly discuss it. She framed it not as controversy, but as necessity. Her explanation was simple. Having a security blanket, something to do on the side and make good money from, doesn't hurt. For Vickery, the platform offered independence, control, flexibility, and income stability. Most importantly, it helped fund her tennis career. Financial freedom versus public judgment. With openness came criticism. Some fans questioned her professionalism. Others questioned tennis image. Some questioned why athletes needed side income at all. Vickery didn't shy away from the debate. Instead, she flipped the question back to the sport itself. Pay players what they deserve. One of Vickery's strongest statements targeted tennis authorities directly. Her argument: if you don't want players on OnlyFans, set up a system where you actually pay players outside the top 100 what we deserve. She wasn't attacking the sport. She was exposing a structural problem that has existed for decades. The pay gap reality in tennis. Tennis prides itself on equal prize money at Grand Slams. But that equality doesn't extend down the rankings. Challenger and ITF events pay modest prize money, require full-time commitment, offer no safety net. For players ranked 100 to 300, a single injury can end a season or a career. Vickery's point was clear. If tennis provided financial stability, athletes wouldn't need alternatives. The censorship question: another uncomfortable truth Vickery raised. If athletes were properly compensated, fewer would turn to sponsorship shortcuts, betting-related scandals, risky financial ventures, or online platforms that spark controversy. Her quote: if tennis were a sport where players were getting paid what we actually deserve, you wouldn't have people doing OnlyFans or whatever it is. This wasn't defiance. It was frustration. Back on court, still a competitor despite the headlines, Sachia Vickery never announced retirement. She continues to compete. In 2024, she faced Coco Gauff at the Stuttgart Open and pushed the world number 4 to 3 sets, 6 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 5. That match alone reminded fans, this is still a serious tennis player. Not a headline. Not a controversy. A competitor. Where she stands now, currently ranked outside the top 500, Vickery remains active. She has not stepped away from tennis, committed full-time to content creation, or closed the door on professional competition. Instead, she exists in the reality many players face, balancing passion with survival. Why this story matters beyond tennis: this isn't really about cosmetic decisions. It's about transparency. It's about what professional sports hide behind highlight reels. And it's about athletes, especially women, reclaiming control over their income, their image, their future. Changing the conversation for years, tennis rewarded consistency at the top, marketability, longevity. But it rarely protected the middle. Vickery's story forces the sport to confront what happens to talented players who don't break through permanently. Public perception versus private reality. Fans often ask, why don't players just quit if it's so hard? But quitting isn't simple when tennis is your identity, your childhood, your discipline, your craft. Vickery didn't quit. She adapted. A modern athlete's playbook. Today's athletes are no longer one-dimensional. They are brands, entrepreneurs, independent contractors. Vickery represents a new era where players speak openly, even when it makes people uncomfortable. Final reflection: Sachia Vickery didn't ask to become a symbol, but her honesty turned her into one. Not of controversy, but of reality. She showed that behind every ranking is a human being making tough choices to keep chasing a dream. If you appreciate tennis stories that go beyond trophies and tell the truth about life on tour, you're in the right place. This is TennisIQ. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for smarter tennis coverage every week. And tell me in the comments, should tennis do more to financially protect players outside the top 100? I'll see you in the next one.